Valentina Shevchenko had some harsh words for referee Mike Bell following her split draw with Alexa Grasso. Valentina also believes Mexican Independence Day affected the judges' decisions.
I think 3 rounds I won, 2 rounds it maybe was her, but I feel that 10-8 in the 5th round, it's completely unfair. It was some illegal shots like knees in the 1st round. Unfortunately, it was like nothing to do with that, but I feel that it's against my like personal rules that stop and complain, right? It's kind of like I every time was feeling hard position situation, I tried to find the way to succeed, and that's why I didn't stop. I broke my thumb in the 1st round, and it's like fractured now. I felt it's kind of like affecting my striking, but in the same time, I felt if I would stop, it's gonna be very frustrating for the whole fans who was this night because they was waiting this fight, they wanna see the fight, and if I stop in the 1st round and say I cannot continue, I felt like it's gonna be again against my own personal rules. That's why I continue fight with my whole heart. I think I did everything to secure the victory, and unfortunately I think because this event it's like Mexican Independence Day, that's why it's affected the decision of the judge to give 10-8 in the 5th round. And for my experience, 10-8, it's when one fighter completely cannot do nothing. It's like running around, waiting there, looking for escape from the octagon. It's like miserable. But in the 5th round, it was like 4 minutes or how many minutes stand up, and she didn't let one punch, and she only could take the back position on the like what it was last minute and a half, I don't remember now, but even there it was not damage. It was not too much damage to succeed this 10-8. That's why kind of like I'm saying it's double feeling. One side I'm proud of myself, and one side I frustrated from the judge decision.
And just to ask you to clarify on that, on the Mexican Independence Day thing, are you saying that you think the judges factored that in, or do you mean because it was a pro-Mexican crowd, the volume was so loud, the cheering was so loud, that maybe the judge thinks it's more dominant than it really is?
Really, I don't know what it was big decision from that, but 10-8 is 10-8. And 10-8, it's kind of like not what it was in the 5th round.
Following his 1st round TKO victory over Terrence Mitchell, Raul Rosas Jr. says that he believes he has the potential to become one of the biggest superstars in the UFC.
I know you're a very confident guy, but after that first loss, did you ever have any doubts like, oh man, did I get into the UFC too early? Am I biting more than I can chew? Did you ever have any doubts at some point?
Never had any doubts on my skills. The only thing that lost change was my record, and tonight I showed that nothing has changed.
Connor tweeted Viva Mexico after your performance. So how big of a superstar do you think you could be moving forward in the UFC?
I'm different, so I have a potential to be a superstar, break all these records. So I'm blessed I'm just being myself, and I'm blessed that I am the way I am. And I know I have potential to become one of the biggest superstars of the company.
When you say you want to break all these records, are there any specific that you have like in your sight that you really do want to break?
I just gotta live day by day, focus on one goal and then go after another. Right now it's just come back, have another amazing performance, climb up the ladder, and go from there.
Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith list fighters from the UFC that they think would do well over at WWE.
If you had to pick some fighters from the UFC that are shoo-ins, definites to go over there, I'll start the ball rolling. Come on, let's be honest. Conor McGregor, he's 100%. 100%. Don't tell me that he's not going to show up at a WrestleMania event sometime in the future.
Michael Chandler, I think that guy can cut a promo.
Yep.
And 100%. I think he's athletic enough. He's got kind of that muscly build to him. You zoom in on him, he might look like he's 250 pounds. You don't got to pan out all the way.
Sean Strickland giving all his theatrics and being the champion of the world, and
Just
having a big following now, being a crazy guy, like the cowboy hat. He'll have some kickers on and got or two on his waist.
Speaking of gun guy, I think like Cowboy would be like he's got a really great character. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine Cowboy in that long snakeskin jacket and a cowboy hat and his boots walking down to just cut a promo? And
that's some jacket there, Cowboy. What is that, Python?
Yeah, it's bad. It's badass. That's what it is.
That was bad. DC will be commentating the WWE at some point.
Sure.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Because he loves it. I mean, he loves wrestling, but he loves pro wrestling as well, which I just don't get. But still, congratulations to everyone involved. That's a massive...
Tuivasa. That's a good one.
Oh. Yeah.
Tuivasa would be a good one. He's pretty athletic for his size. There's always like a bigger, thicker kind of, doing shoeies in the crowd.
Who else? I don't know.
Michael Bisping.
I'll have a go. As I say, I'll clothesline some son of a bitch.
You cut a hell of a promo too.
I can cut a promo. I don't know about these backflips. I don't know about jumping off the top rope and none of that shit.
Not with your fake knees.
Sean Strickland attempted to tape a hole in his boat, and it didn't end up working out for him. Sean posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "I'm starting to think boating isn't for me."
That's a lot. I don't know why, but we can't water us through. But good thing we have what's the lowest man in the turtle called on a boat? Let me tell you about apples. Captain's drive boats. Apples kill people.
Chris Curtis got called out on UFC Fight Pass over the weekend and ended up going off live.
I want to fight this guy, Chris Curtis. I fight him once a week.
Look at here, you muppet. I was messy today, that I didn't drag your head off concrete that I should have. Watch your mouth. I'm not the one you want. I will bury you, angry little dog boy.
Chris Curtis has been getting some backlash over this. Many people are saying that he overreacted on social media. Chris tweeted this explaining the backstory. He wrote, "You don't threaten me and my family and then apologize behind closed doors before pulling this shit. Nah, my guy, you beat a cab driver. Not impressed. All that talking's gonna get you hurt." A fan replied, "Chris seems like such a nice dude, and then he does stuff like this. F it, I don't know anymore." Eric Nicksick replied saying, "You don't know the whole story, bro. Chris is in the right. This guy that's talking is an awful human being." Cameron else tweeted at Chris Curtis saying, "Chris, this guy is a fucking snake, dog. He got kicked out of Jackson Wink, then started messaging people including me saying he's gonna my sisters. Little weasel." Curtis replied, "Oh, we know. He threatened me, my family, my coach's wife, and we had at least 5 women message us with information about him beating them up and harassing them. We know he's a cowardly little bitch." So this guy's name is Ayadi Majetadine. He's a pro MMA fighter with a record of 13-4. Eric Nicksick claims that he's been kicked out of multiple gyms. Eric replied to Curtis again saying kicked out of Goat Shed, MMA Masters, Sanford amongst others, but found his home at Syndicate. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to Noche UFC. The first one's from Chris Danks. It says 10-8 in the 5th is absolutely insane. Something has to be done about the judging. The second one says, how the hell did that judge score that 5th round of 10-8? Absolutely criminal. And the final one says 10-8 is ridiculous considering she was winning 3.5 minutes of that last round. Always the one judge to make the dumbest score. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.